I believe this is a conversation that's waiting to be had. Is aliens real? Is the earth flat? Is it a globe? Is it spinning? Is aliens not real? What is going on? Let's talk about it.
How many times have humans landed on the moon? The answer is 6 times between 1969 and 1972. Did you know this?
Is the Earth flat?
For example, lunar eclipses. This is Earth, and the moon is over here. The sun is always casting Earth's shadow into space. It's always there no matter what. And if you see the shape of Earth's shadow on the moon, it is always round. If Earth were flat, sometimes you get like a flat shadow.
Right.
We've never seen a flat shadow.
Now let me ask you, do that even make sense to you? What is you talking about, a flat shadow? What is that?
The fact that there's a rise of flat earthers is evidence of 2 things. 1, we live in a country that protects free speech. And 2, failed educational system.
Ooh, that one hurt.
In my research, I have discovered maps that show a lot of these deep underground bases, or also known as dumps. These bases are in locations where there appear to have been other openings deep under the earth. And how do I know this? Well, anybody can figure it out because we have access to the ground penetrating radar data. This data shows specific types of caverns and openings deep beneath the earth, sometimes a mile deep. And what it appears when you look at some of these overlaying military tunnels, it seems as if they knew where they were at, so they actually tunneled to these actual locations, these ancient locations, and kind of made them into their path as they created their own grid.
When we look at the creation stories of our past, as different as they are from one another, there are common themes that weave them all together. One of the most obvious of these common threads is the theme of another world beneath this one, a world, subterranean world, from which our ancestors emerged.
I can't believe we're still discussing this shit. Is Earth flat or round? Starting with the flat Earth believers, flat Earth arguments, religious interpretations, and the firmament. According to Genesis 1:7, God created the firmament to divide the waters below from the waters above. Some believe this sheds light on why the sky appears blue and why we can see blue behind the moon. Hidden messages in popular media, references in movies and TV shows like The Simpsons, have been taken by some flat Earth proponents as endorsements of their views. NASA controversies. Wernher von Braun, one of the pioneers behind NASA, had a biblical verse, Psalms 19:1, inscribed on his gravestone, referencing the firmament. Doubters also challenge the authenticity of certain images of Earth from space, like the renowned blue marble shot. Furthermore, the translation of NASA in Hebrew is highlighted, which they claim means to deceive.
The hidden lands beyond the ice walls. Awakening truth. Let's have a little journey to the old map.
It's hard to have this conversation with people when they don't want to use logic. They lied, not once, not twice, but multiple times. They also provide you all with toxic
foods that are causing damage to your brain. Avoid them at all costs. Number 1, potato chips. I know they are tempting, but they're loaded with unhealthy fats, sodium, and artificial additives. Consuming potato chips can lead to inflammation in the brain and impair cognitive function over time. 2, canned foods. Many canned foods contain BPA, a chemical linked to neurotoxicity and cognitive impairment. Additionally, the high sodium content in canned foods can contribute to hypertension, which is a risk factor for cognitive decline.
But they care so much about you. No, they don't. They think it's too many people living, and people cannot handle the truth. That's what they really think.
3, diet sodas. While marketed as a healthier alternative to regular soda, diet sodas contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame, which have been linked to neurotoxicity and adverse effects on brain function. Consuming diet sodas may increase the risk of dementia and other cognitive disorders. 4.
Quick question. Have you ever thought why are all the healthy foods more expensive? And then when they turn around and up everybody pay, they turn around and up the price of living? Back to the video.
4. High fructose corn syrup. This sweetener is commonly found in processed foods and beverages and has been linked to inflammation in the brain and impaired memory and learning. 5. Soy. While soy is often touted as a health food, it contains compounds called phytoestrogens that can disrupt hormone balance and have adverse effects on brain function. Opt for organic, non-GMO soy products and consume them in moderation. 6. Deep-fried foods. Foods that are deep-fried in unhealthy oils like vegetable oil or trans fats can generate harmful compounds called advanced glycation end products, which have been linked to oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain.
And here, they still have people thinking NASA is going out of space. They aborted that mission a long time ago. They are traveling around the world. Y'all think this where y'all are traveling at, where they allow y'all to travel, is all of the world it is. Don't you know they have restricted flight patterns, prohibited flight patterns? They are labeled different. You can look it up. You see all the areas where they don't allow people to travel outside of. Why would they do that if it's nothing else out there? Area 51, they don't allow people to go there. You can't go outside of certain areas. Why would they do that if it's nothing out there? People think you could just get on a plane and go wherever you want to go. No, that plane has a certain flight pattern it has to take. You cannot even buy your own jet and say, I'm gonna go over here just because I have the money. No, you still have to obey by the rules and regulations. But people want to ignore all of that and still say, nah, they not gonna lie about this. They lied about so much already. They don't think you can handle the truth. This is really the truth. What you see here, but you still might want to ignore it because it's too much. That's mostly what it is. People scared. Aliens are here. Things like that are already here. It's not that they coming from space. It's already here. You know, do you think the Earth is a globe and it's spinning? That means the Earth would be a spaceship. But people don't want to think about it like that because they sound crazy. You want to say that it's not flat? Then you have some people who believe in the Bible but still disagree with the Bible. And then they'll want to mix up the wording. Nah, that ain't what it means. It just say that, but it means something different though. Okay. I listen to a lot of people talk, but what's the logic? Everybody have their own assumptions about something, but nobody really want to take on the things that seem so unbelievable, like mythical creatures, Bigfoot. Nobody want to believe in unicorns, but when you see things, then you'll be like, oh, okay, that's why it is. But is that always an excuse of something? And then you don't want to believe in none of this, but you will want to believe that it's just this little part right here. All of what they show you.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Is this real?
Okay, where is this on your
Nah,
property?
It gotta be fake.
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
In Star Trek, and can imagine we've done at the Lockheed Skunk Works, not at Area 51, but at the desert base, the underground facility. Well, you know, everyone talks about Area 51. That's an old one. It's still operational. A more state-of-the-art one is actually in the Dugway Proving Grounds, which is in Utah.
I'm going to put a picture up of it right now.
That facility, there's something called the Avery Sector. There's a vast underground facility there where there are these assets. There's an extraterrestrial vehicle that was being studied there. They're down by these electromagnetic pulse weapons. The ET craft are completely electromagnetic.
So they're downing these aircraft with basically a directed EMP weapon.
You know, a kinetic weapon would not be so effective, missile or a laser, but an electromagnetic pulse or scalar weapon stuns them and they'll come down. Sometimes they crash, sometimes they're intact. If they're intact, then you have the whole thing to study. This man was in a facility where they had an entire intact one.
Now you tell me, how can someone fake something like this? Wouldn't it be in a movie or something? This is great editing or CGI, artificial, whatever, AI, whatever you want to call it. So I guess you simply ignore what you want to.
Different species, different life forms. There's one species that at full adulthood is about 1.5 feet. There's another species that's 10 or 12 feet. The ones that people often refer to are around 3 to 4 feet, 39 inches or so tall. We have very good forensic drawings from men who've been on the retrieval teams of what these various species look like. The reason they keep coming back, number one, it's not a coincidence that the modern era of all this started when we started detonating atomic bombs. What Edward Teller and Oppenheimer didn't understand when they were developing that is that when you detonate an atomic bomb, you get, everybody knows about an electromagnetic pulse, the pulse that goes out, knocks out all electronic communication. What people didn't know about is there's also a pulse of what's called scalar energy. And scalar is faster than the speed of light.
Lied to us. The 9/11 Commission lied. The FBI lied. There's a federal case of victims on 9/11 that want accountability. I don't think they would have come for me if this was false. What do we know about Hunter Biden's dealings? What do we know about the truth of what happened on January 6th? What do we know about that Nashville shooter manifesto? Yes, we can handle the truth. Just give me the hard truth.
It feels like we're on the cusp of chaos.
Oh, there's something going on. I mean, I think we're like in a 1776 moment in this country.